to me. That's completely fine.
So what we are doing is, I'm a clairvoyant. Do you know what clairvoyance means?
Somewhat. Refresh
so
my
I work
memory.
with energy portals, like how paranormal.
Okay.
So I'm doing advanced training, like meaning my teacher is very, very, very advanced in this. And so did you see the moon like yesterday, how big it was?
Yes. And yes, it was huge. It was so big.
So there is a special energy portal that opened on the 18th. 12, 18, 18, there is an energy portal that opened up 11 dimensions. So we will have super consciousness, that is more paranormal activity. And for this to prepare, there is group of beings like us are gearing up so we would have more good energy to balance if anything opens up.
I'm so glad to have you because you know what? I'm really into the paranormal stuff and the consciousness and elevate. Like I think you are the perfect doctor for me. I really do. I totally believe.
So do you want me to explain to you how I use it practically?
Yeah, actually, yeah, please.
So there is actually a NASA experiment they did, okay? They cloaked the plane with aluminum dust. It's called chemtrails.
Yes, I know all about chemtrails, yes.
So when it falls on the skin, it creates alien fibers to grow called Morgellons disease. Do you know that?
Yeah, and the nanoparticles, yes.
So what happens is actually, when I was training with my teacher, I like to, I'm not traditionally in a religious pathway, but my teacher is. And there is a very big sabotage by the world to suppress this information. This is the first year, it's called disclosure year. Everything is coming out, right?
Yes, you're right. This is the year of disclosure, yes.
So what happened was, we have been training together for a long time, but this is the first year we are allowed to speak about it. In the past, we were persecuted, and my teacher was jailed, imprisoned for these.
Yeah, it was
suppressed. So now what happened is, I was asking for a sign, and I said, what would the universe want me to do for 2018? And I was asked to work with energy water bodies. And this is the sign my teacher sent me, okay? See, like how his finger is in the middle?
Yeah, I see it.
So then, and then I asked, what is my contribution? And the beings, the higher beings told me, I need to work with body of water. And I said I wanted a confirmation, and I will show you what confirmation I got. I was driving, look at the sky, the exact sign appeared.
Oh my gosh, wow.
So these are like things I cannot even explain. So, see, there are many ways I get confirmation. It's not even a doubt. So when I asked, in India, they celebrate something called River of Faith. They celebrate water. That's why Ganges and all, they pray, right? Remember the Ganges, it's a big deal, glaciers. So same thing in Christianity too. They have blessed water, holy water.
Right. Yeah.
So animals have blue lines, ley lines, grids. Right?
Yeah.
So we all are celebrating water, and we are 70% body water, right? So when we heal the water body, automatically we heal. So what happened is, when the chemtrail falls, they were developing Morgellons disease, right? So I asked for an energy portal to be opened in our area. And my teacher blessed me with that ability to do the energy portal. So in Rhode Island, there is a specific energy portal called Cliff Walk. Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, the cliff walk is a specific space. We found the energy portal opened up. So when I went there, I couldn't understand because I got entangled. When I went there, my right shoulder energy got stuck. I didn't understand it because I went in without permission. So you need to ask permission. You say, hey, would I? And I threw an arrow at it. Like, I was very arrogant. And so the energy told me I need to ask permission instead of just like throwing arrow. So it says, hey, don't come in with a combat attitude, kind of.
You're invited, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it says like work with me instead of against me. Hey, I'm recording this so you can wait, okay? You can actually stay there if you want. So then what happened was I went the next day. It was low tide. Come to find out they had red Asian seaweed growing there. And then when I was watching Morganell's documentary, it says it's a specific grow medium and it creates its own farming agricultural place and it creates AgroBacteria. So it's actually a bacteria. It think of our skin as a farmland. So it's growing fibers on its own and it's AgroBacteria they released. And guess what? The only thing that will heal it is kelp. Since kelp is dying, red seaweed is taking over, and it's the only remedy. Seaweed is the only remedy for Morganell's. And my teacher was saying, I'm going to send the medicine later. The disease will be discovered later, but we are going to be prepared. So we'll know what it is that we need to do. So now my pathway is I need to extract that seaweed, make a medicine, figure out whether scientifically I can cure it, and then give back that knowledge. So already my project is set up for the next year.
And it has to do with water. Exactly.
Yes. Red Asian seaweed, they first found out in Block Island in 2009. Now it's gone to Nahant, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Bangor, Maine. 4 areas it's growing. And that's going to be the only remedy for Morganell's.
Wow. I didn't.
So you could see how it's playing out in real life. And the way I asked for one more confirmation, my teacher sent me clairgustance. That is, I don't even need to talk to people. I can taste the problem. So I feel like, it almost felt like my fibers were coming out of my mouth. And then it felt like my tongue would weave itself and like a seaweed spur. So I could sense if they are coming in that they have this issue because I'm creating the fibers in the back of my throat like a sensation. And so I don't even need to ask them if they're doing something bad. The seaweed is going to reveal it to me in my mouth. So it's like amazing, the energy portal. The next day, my husband came with me. He doesn't believe in anything I do. So I said, hey, the energy portal opened up. So he came. He almost threw up. He felt so queasy, he couldn't get into that energy portal. So I said, what is happening? He says, it's because too much energy is coming in, I couldn't handle. So he says, I'm going to step back, come back. So when he stepped back, came back, he could handle it. And then when next day I asked again for confirmation, in the car, I almost threw up. It became so sick, that energy. Because remember when the seaweed dries, it has that putrid smell.
Yeah,
I could smell it. I could smell it in my car.
Wow.
So you should go check out the cliff walk. If you
I will tonight. I'll Google it. Every night I sit down and that's like been, something it started with the chemtrails. I noticed that like probably 5 years ago, I noticed the same planes going over and over and over. And I've noticed it spreading out through the sky and laying a blanket down. And I started researching it and I was captivated by it. And the government being, an iron fist and a velvet glove, and there's what we see, the physical government, and then there's the government behind the curtain. And what they found was the way to diagnose is that all Morganell's in future would have a signature Lyme titer. It's going to be positive with Lyme titer because it's going to be a signature, like Lyme is going to grow there. So when they do Lyme titer, it's going to be positive. If it is positive, the treatment is seaweed.
I'm just giving you guys heads up because this is what we are working on. We are working on healing the world, but from the other side, because my teacher is real too. He's physical. I'm not like making him up. But he has way too much knowledge, and he calls it download. It's like a software download. So he will download the information we want to use for our use. So he asked me, make one wish. He says, I'll make it come true. So I said, hey, I want to work specifically on like, you know, creating like an awareness of how to heal my clients and to understand the secrets. Because even if somebody is lying, I can just by their skin breakdown, you can tell. Like, you know, they call it crocodile skin. Have you heard about crocodile skin disease? People.
Yeah,
yes. So these are all connected. Everything is connected.
Do you believe in astral projection?
Yes, that's what it's the dimension. That's what opened up on the 18th.
Right, and that's why I mentioned that.
Yes. Pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to sign off. I'm going to post this on YouTube. Okay.
That's fine. Yeah, please do.
Yeah. See you. Bye bye.
Okay.